Here's hubby's cinnamon pound cake. Mm-mm-mm. Hi, here I am with the Lunch Lady pizza recipe. I didn't get to do it yesterday because my husband had 2 cake orders yesterday, so he had the oven in the kitchen all day. This is 2 2/3 cups all-purpose flour, and I like to sift mine. I'm making some homemade pizza sauce with some tomatoes that I had off the vine. I brought them to a boil and then cooled them and skinned them. And then I pureed them in the Vitamix and boiled them down. Oh, that is 0.75 ounces of yeast, because that's what a yeast packet is, 0.75 ounces. And I have these nifty little scales that I can weigh for accuracy. That is 3/4 cup dry powdered milk. Now, she's the lunch lady, she knows best. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to stir that because I'm trying to boil all the water off of it and get it to be a nice thick sauce for my pizza. I put garlic salt in it, salt and pepper, onion powder, and Italian seasoning, and it smells wonderful. So you see me combining the dry ingredients here. I bought 20 pounds of bread flour back in March, I think it was, and I'm still working on it. I added 2 tablespoons of oil to 1 2/3 cup warm water. You don't want it too hot or it'll kill your yeast. And I like to clean as I go. I cannot stand a messy kitchen. And I've got tomato splashes all over the stove. So we're just going to combine that till it's incorporated. You don't want to over mix your pizza dough. And I prepared it's supposed to be a half a sheet pan, 18 inches by 13 inches, but I don't think mine is quite that big. My crust came out just a little bit too thick. And then she says to let it rest 5 minutes. And she did say to let it rest 5 minutes on the parchment paper, but I didn't pour it out. I remember that it was supposed to rest on the parchment paper for 5 minutes, so while it was resting, I actually poured it out, so y'all didn't see that step. Now you just put olive oil on your hands and you're going to spread it out and fill your 18 by 13. I think mine is actually 9 by 13 because the crust could have been a whole lot thinner. It was good though. It's a process too, getting it spread thin. I found it interesting that it had powdered milk in it, but Lunch Lady said that all of her bread recipes have powdered milk in it. Her name is Miss Lori Brown, and she's with Whipporwhill Hollar. If you'd like to check out her channel, she was a lunch lady for 16 years, and she has some of the best recipes on there. I don't think her husband liked the lunch lady pizza too well. Undoubtedly, he's a pizza connoisseur. Oh. Well, it looks like I about got it spread out. Now I got to get that off my hands. You know, I'm careful about my hands. I don't like anything on them. I'm OCD actually about my hands. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bake that for 8 minutes in a 475-degree oven on the second rack next to the bottom. Now I was counting how long 8 minutes would be. Oh, my math is not great. See, it's beginning to thicken up a little bit. Some of that moisture is boiling away. I did turn the stove eye off, and it's just sitting on the eye that is open where the heat comes out of the oven. Here we are grating our cheese. Lunch Lady calls for 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. However, my family likes Gouda, which is what I'm using here. This is a nice little grater. My mother had one that was made out of metal that came with her cookware, and we used that all of our life. And I told my husband I wanted one. Well, he found this little plastic one at Dollar General, I think it was. And it just makes cutting cheese so easily. Okay, I just got the pizza crust out of the oven. It had cooked for 8 minutes. It did overcook. She recommends 475 on the second to the bottom rack. It looked a little bit too done for being halfway through the cooking process, so I moved the rack up, as you'll see, one spot. But when I moved the rack up, I had one on the third spot and half of it on the second spot, so it was crooked. I had to take it out and redo it. So that's what y'all will see me do, is fixing the rack in the oven. So what I'll probably do, instead of cooking on the second to the bottom rack, I'll cook it on the third to the bottom rack. And may even adjust the temperature, maybe down between 250 and 275, because my stove only has increments of 25. So I can't push in, you know, with the button 260 or 262 or something like that. So here I am topping the pizza with cheese, and when I get through with that, I'll be putting that back in the oven for an additional 8 minutes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And there she goes, fixed to go in the oven for 8 minutes. See, that's when I realized my rack was crooked. And I didn't think I was ever going to get that thing in there. But there it went finally. Okay, I pulled it out of the oven and let it rest 5 minutes. It's out of the pan. Miss Lori took the pizza cutter and she cut it in half, and then she cut it in quarters, and then she sliced it up the middle so everything would be uniform size. I didn't do that because I just wanted to cut a slice of pizza. It did get overdone, so I will probably back my oven down to 350. I mean, not 350, 450. See, I didn't think I was ever going to get it out. And bake it on the third row up, which in my oven, I think that is halfway from the bottom to the top. You can see just a little bit when I put it on the plate that it is overdone on the bottom. I didn't notice it till I sat down. So adjust your oven accordingly. Visit Whipporwhill Hollar. I'm sure Miss Lori would love to see you. Enjoy. Bye.